everyone, I'd like to welcome you to the Cool Mini or Not Expo. I am here with Ted Terranova, the designer of Rivet Wars. Well, Ted, I will say I have played Rivet Wars twice now.
Awesome.
First with my son Luke, he beat me. Second, with Tom Vassell from the Dice Tower, he crushed me. And now I need your help. I need you to give me a secret weapon, something.
You need more support,
I do
more
need,
troops?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't think Tom's here right now. So
I think he left.
This is the time.
Okay,
I want to know.
right.
Because you have some more stuff coming out for Rivet Wars that wasn't included in the base set. We have some expansions coming, right?
Yeah.
Like planes.
Airplanes, we got planes. From the beginning of doing Rivet Wars, I wanted to do airplanes. Rivet Wars is World War I, turn of the century kind of tech. So I've always loved biplanes, triplanes, that kind of thing. Lighter than air, kind of zeppelins and stuff like that. So I was thinking, we've got to do airplanes. It would be great to do airplanes. So we hit a stretch goal and we decided to do the Battle of Brighton, which is the air units for Rivet Wars.
Okay.
And so here you see two of the bombers. So they would be great to help you take out Tom or any other opponents, because these guys can fly over the troops.
Yes.
A lot of troops don't have an air range, so they can't hit the air units.
And one thing I noticed was in the base box, the units, some of them did have air range. So you built that into the base box. You knew this was coming. This is something that my older troops, they're going to be compatible with this, right?
Well, yeah, I really wanted air units so bad, I put the air range in there,
right.
Not being sure we would have air units right away.
Right.
But I really wanted the game to work so that you wouldn't have the air units coming out later, and then it's like, oh, I got to get all new cards or all new stats that say these are what the units will be. So we already figured out, kind of balanced them out, what guys should have the ability to hit air units and what shouldn't, and we put it on the cards and kind of thought it at least gave the idea that people could see what might be coming. So
right on.
Thought it'd be cool.
Well, here's my concern, if I can be so bold.
Yes.
I like them. They look good.
Yeah.
And they're up here in the air, but I'm like, if I want to move this in here, aren't I like bumping into my other troops?
Yeah,
shuffling things around, right? So what are we going to do about that?
Well,
or do I just move the guys? It's like, do they just run out of the way when I have to put
right,
them in the
or you
square?
can only go in empty squares or something.
Yeah.
Well, Rivet Wars works off that larger grid system.
Yes.
And so originally we were thinking like, oh, we'll just have them drop into the middle here.
Yes.
But then if you have a bigger unit, there's nowhere to go. But then,
how's it going to fly over this, right? This takes up the whole square.
Right, so there'd be nowhere to put them.
Right.
We were kind of scratching our heads. What are we going to do? We definitely don't want the standard, oh, you can't put infantry there or any ground units because the base is in the way. And we kind of were pushing this around, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, like, put it on the intersection between the grids, and then you've really got true flight where it's in a different plane of existence, kind of.
When I saw this, as you told me about this earlier, I had the kind of same realization, of course, this is the obvious
Right, like the light bulb goes off.
Right, because you can now put it anywhere. It doesn't matter how thick the troops are, you can now have planes flying in amongst them, and you're not having to shove your miniatures out of the way to make it work.
Exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Because if this made the game more tedious, it wouldn't be that fun to do. And
right.
To solve that problem. So how do they work in the game?
So what's interesting about the planes is because they can position themselves between the grids.
Right.
A bomber, say, this bomber gets an attack on the 4 grids that touch the intersection where he is.
Right.
And the way we do the range for the air units is based on the intersections, whereas the ground units are done by the grids. So let's say this guy has an air range of 1, he can only hit the intersections that touch his grid. And if this guy has an air range, a ground range of 1, he can hit the grids that are 1 away from him.
Okay.
And it just moves out from there. So, let's say the anti-aircraft guy, he can obviously shoot into the air.
Right.
So this guy has an air range of 2. So he has this intersection, and he could then hit this guy.
Okay.
So.
And this is another one of the new units that's going to come with this expansion?
Yes.
Okay. And I believe we have some more plugs happening here?
Yeah.
Trademark plugs.
So you can put plugs. This isn't a blight plug, but any of the plugs would work and fit into there.
Okay.
And then that could upgrade the stats.
It's one of the neat, unique things about Rivet Wars are certainly these plugs, right?
Yes.
Because here is one thing, you can upgrade put something better in there,
Right.
give them another kind of attack or effect or whatever, and you can sort of customize on the fly, right, as you're deploying your troops onto the board.
And of course, it's not just the ground units. So the air units.
Oh, no way. These plugs through?
Yeah, like double plugs. So
right on.
one of the things we really want to do for the fighters, say like these fighters, is, you know, you can pop the canopy out and put a hero plug in there.
Sure.
And that gives you, oh, maybe this guy knows how to do Immelmans, or, you know, can do a barrel roll or some kind of special attack. So by putting the plug in, you really change the physical appearance of it, and it really signifies like what new ability you've given to that plane.
And it certainly, even visually, having these guys here, it's like now we've got 2 layers of combat here, right?
Oh yeah.
Flying over,
I mean, it's fun to get down low, and with the clear stands, you can see through them, and it really makes a dense kind of combat feel, which, you know, just makes the battlefield feel that much crazy.
Speaking of dense.
Yes.
We have a couple of other
the big
dense
guys.
beasts here, right?
Yes, the heavy metal.
Is this, I believe you said this is another separate expansion, right? This is not with the planes, this is something else.
It's not with the planes, right. But the 2 tanks come together.
Okay.
We're calling it heavy metal, just the big armor.
I can see
so
why.
That's the Blight, Griffin's Hammer, and this is the double play Allied tank.
And there's more plugs?
They both come with 2 plugs. So you have much more. You can upgrade this plug and this.
Oh man, okay.
So you can put a hero in there. You can put the hacksaw turret on there. You know, really make it into this just like mega death machine rolling across the battlefield.
So now these are expansions, and there's 2 different ones here. Are these being released at totally different times, or are they being released at the same time? What's the plan there?
They're all part of Wave 2, so they're all going to come at the same time. They should get to all the backers, should get like all the Kickstarter backers should get a giant box with all the Wave 2 stuff. Right. And then the box for the Battle of Brighton and Heavy Metal would go to retail then at that point.
Excellent. Well, listen, thanks for taking the time, Ted, to show this. I hope if you're interested in Rivet Wars, you got lots more to look forward to. And if it's not something you're familiar with, well, you've gotten a quick look at it at the very least. So, thanks again, Ted.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching.
Thanks, guys.